This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation. Ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pull out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, a new season finally here. We had the great one Thursday night. All sorts of intrigue in the games yesterday, and now we put a bow on this first weekend with a good one here tonight.
We do put a spotlight on key games, don't we? Even key nights. Thursday night has become a spotlight night. How about Sunday night? But there still is some magic to playing on Monday night, and these two teams are feeling it.
Now about set to get this one started, and we are underway from the Superdome. This is fielded a couple yards deep, and he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State, the former Spartan. It's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
Cousins now to throw on first down. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. After the interception, here's Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Well, this is just the 5th all-time meeting between the Texans and Saints here, taking place in Week 1. And they have split the previous 4 meetings. Of course, the Texans entering the league in 2002. But you would think that these two teams would have met more because the cities are only separated by 350 miles, I-10 connecting them. In fact, for New Orleans, Houston is the closest NFL city of any in the league. So it's kind of interesting that this is only the 5th time that they have met. The last time they got together, November of 2015, the Texans winning that one 24-6. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack is by Janoris Jenkins coming in off the corner.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
After the sack on 1st down, Wilson, he gets it to Cooks. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and it's now 3-0 Texans. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Defense.
I'm not sure what this is about. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Running is Jacobs. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Melvin Ingram is beginning to come into his own as an outside linebacker. Strong, solid, with an excellent first step.
Right there, 54 Mike. Watch the out.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He's got Curse. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Jacobs now. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Saints have taken the lead. looks for the extra point. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. Wilson. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Looking. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. That one good for 37 yards. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. T.Y. Hilton there to make the grab. And the Texans have retaken the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball, the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands, downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here we go. Check.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In that time for the sack, say hello to Chandler Jones.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. This is taken at the 10. A nice little juke. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Wilson to throw. Complete to Hilton. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there. 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go play action now. Wilson flushed out right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Baker with a pick. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Following the interception, Cousins. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing on 2nd down, Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. David Onyemata in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over this one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple of yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
This time Wilson will throw. And that's complete to Cooks. 23 yards the final tally. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Texans push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Hauschka with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection... The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fielded just inside the 20. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him. Maybe even have a 3rd person in the area and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Wilson escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Check 37. Check 37. Alert 3. Alert 3. Alert 3.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Second and 10 now from the 27.
Strong right. Strong right. Strong right. Hey, Zero. This way.
Wilson now to throw again. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Hauschka's kick is good, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. So we are at halftime in the first of 2 here on this opening Monday night of 2019. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And it was the Bears who began their NFC North defense by claiming victory in the opener. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Wilson. Flush to his right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Here's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there in that scramble.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 44, Wilson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Wilson flushed out right. He'll try and run it. The 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. And it's never going to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost
well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Leonard Williams, his 2nd sack of the night.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. And he's got his man Hilton. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Texans push further out in front.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no
blitz coming, and down he goes. Chandler Jones able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Another try after the first down sack. Cousins toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and it's third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Third and long for Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the offense does cover this one, but back inside their own 5-yard line.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
On first down, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
To try again after the sack. Wilson. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, Cap.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jermaine Kearse there to make the grab. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. What's good on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson. Well, the catch made by Hilton. Leaving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. And he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
On the run, and that's caught inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They give to Johnson going right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson throwing again. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They'd like to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
14 yards is the pickup, first down New Orleans. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender. Made him
what do you mean by that, Burko?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. And this is caught by Kurz. 4 yards the pickup, first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Chandler Jones bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack on first down, Cousins, and finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing, Cousins. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
They go with Jacobs, and they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down, and this Texans defense stands tall.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
It's been a long day for you.
Play action. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
And he slides to avoid the hit. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Johnson jostles free. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
That's on the 2nd-round pick, Eric McCoy from Texas A&M. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Check 9, check 9. Watch it.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. Johnson on, it's poke free, football's out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free, Creek.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harold Landry, his second sack of the night. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins, he's got his man. It's Curse. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
First down, here's Cousins. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of the ball game that appears lost.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Cousins on 3rd and 2. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now Cousins, and he's got him. Touchdown, Saints. Cooper Kupp there to make the grab. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now Johnson. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Wilson wants to throw it. Looking deep for Hilton. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
The real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, and now I'm listening to you. So for Houston, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a road victory here on a Monday night. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.
I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver, I'm a believer. Someone better kick my